Welcome to Small Step Finance. Today we're going to be talking about how much can I afford in terms of a car. We're going to be diving into the 24-10 rule, and we're going to be talking about how much car you can actually afford to finance. Our mission here at Small Step Finance is to help teach you skills so that you can build wealth one small step at a time. Now let's get ready and dive right in. All right, so let's dive into the 24-10 rule. While I recommend paying for your car in cash, I certainly realize that that is unrealistic for most people. And when you need a car, you need a car. So let's get into the 24-10 rule and let's see what each of those numbers represent. Now diving into the 21st, that represents the minimum down payment that you should be putting down on a car. And it means 20%. So thinking about a $20,000 car, a down payment would be approximately $4,000. $4,000 is 20% of $20,000. Moving on to the 4. The 4 represents the maximum term length. Try to aim for a maximum term length of 4 years or equivalent to 48 months. Now, let's look at the 10. The 10 represents 10% of your total post-tax monthly income. This vehicle that you're trying to purchase should be equivalent or less than 10% of your post-tax monthly income. And this includes the fuel, the maintenance, and the payments in total must be lower than 10% of your cost. If you follow the 24-10 rule, you'll be able to help manage your expenses and be able to pay down that loan in a timely manner. Now let's go dive into a specific example so that you can see how you can apply this in your life. So let's look at a real life example. Let's take Sarah. She wants to buy a car and she wants to know how she can apply the 24-10 rule. She currently makes $50,000 a year after taxes. If you average that out over 12 months, that means she has $4,167 a month that she makes in income. If you look at 10% of the $4,167, that means that she'll be working with $416 a month for her car, which includes fuel, maintenance, and the payments. Now let's go see what this example could look like and see what she might want to explore when thinking about buying a new car. All right, so let's dive into Sarah's real life example. Sarah wants to buy a car for $20,000. We're gonna do 2 scenarios here. So the first one, she's going to finance all $20,000, which means she's gonna have a $0 down payment. Current car rates for used vehicles are around 4.5%, and she's going to finance for 60 months, not 48 months. With that, her payment will be approximately $378 a month, and her interest that she will pay over those 60 months will be approximately $2,400. Now, let's try the 24-10 rule here. Looking at $20,000 vehicle, if she puts down $4,000 for a down payment with the used car rates of 4.5% and she finances at 48 months, her payment will be $371 a month, not $378, and her interest that she'll be paying over those 48 months, not 60 months, will be $1,400. So over the course of her loan, she will save $1,000 just in interest. So now that we've run the numbers for Sarah, we can see that scenario 2 is better for Sarah. But if we go back to the 24-10 rule, we talked about the 10% of post-tax income needing to be the total amount per month that needs to go into your budget. So looking at this $20,000 vehicle, that only leaves $45 a month for her to cover the cost of fuel and fees and maintenance, which really doesn't seem like it's going to be sustainable for her. So Maybe Sarah now needs to go back to the drawing board and she needs to look at maybe buying a car that's only $16,000. If we run these same numbers at $16,000 car with a 20% down over 48 months at 4.5% interest, that would be a monthly payment of $291, which would net her about $1,500 a year that she could allocate towards fuel and maintenance and fees. While that certainly still may not be enough for her, it gives her a greater chance of being able to cover those associated costs over the life of that vehicle. So now we've looked at Sarah's situation and we know that she's going to pursue a $16,000 vehicle and she's going to finance it over 48 months. And we know that instead of paying it over 60 months, she'll be doing the 48 months, which means she'll have an entire year of $291 each month that will now become available in her budget. If she takes that $291 every single month and she moves it into a high yield savings account, she can actually start to accumulate that money either for an emergency fund that she can pay for repairs or damages to the vehicle, or if she doesn't have to tap that money, over time it will grow from $3,400 in the first year to $6,900 in the second year, $10,000 in the third year, $13,000 in that fourth year, and then if you look into the fifth year and sixth year, it grows to $17,000 and $20,000. So imagine she drives this vehicle now for 10 years and she's now sitting on a nest egg of approximately $20,000. She's now able to take that money and she can now recycle it into a new vehicle that she can buy and do the same process of doing the 20-4-10 rule again and be able to buy a much nicer vehicle and be able to take a step up in the types of vehicle that she's driving. Maybe her family has changed or the situation has changed and she needs to modify the way that she's driving to work and to school every day. So I understand with Sarah's situation and with your own situation that there's a lot of variables at play. And you may be looking at this 24-10 rule and thinking, hey, there's no way that this could work for myself. But I would challenge you to think about whether there's an opportunity for you to be real with your finances and to think about if this is something that really could work within your budget. If you take the time to run these numbers today before you purchase a vehicle, you'll have a greater likelihood of being able to afford not only your car, but be able to afford other areas of your budget in the future. So what do you think of this approach and this rule? Do you think the 24-10 rule is one that is actually one that would work for you or work for others around you? Have you ever tried using this rule before? I would challenge you to think about whether there's an opportunity for you to use this rule the next time you go and purchase a vehicle. You may realize that you can be a better steward of your money and also be able to meet some of your own financial goals that you might be setting for yourself. I encourage you to drop your thoughts and comments below and tell me what you think about this rule, and let's start a discussion to see what you think might be a better way for you to build your wealth. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you subscribe to Small Step Finance. Just remember, we always are focused on trying to build your wealth one small step at a time. We'll be coming out with more videos that will help you learn how to build your wealth and help you decide how you can become independently wealthy yourself. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.